All right, we're going to work with the notes for lesson 1-5. And these first three boxes here, we got the first one is segment addition postulate. Segment addition, well, we know what a segment is. Addition means add, of course. Segment addition, I will just draw a picture of it, and that pretty much will explain it all. I'll put A, I'll put B, I'll put C here. Maybe this is 7 inches, maybe this is 3 inches. If I asked you how far it is between A to C here, you would probably just go, oh, it's 7 plus 3, 10. Well, that is segment addition. You just added 2 segments. In this picture here, it's basically AB, this segment here with the 7, plus addition, of course, BC, which is 3, would equal all the way across AC. And that's essentially what segment addition is. You can just add segments together to make the longer length. Moving forward to the next box here, congruent segments. Congruent, you're going to bump into this word throughout geometry. Congruent basically means equal. But in geometry, because they deal with shapes, they deal with lines, they deal with segments, triangles, angles, they're going to use the word congruent. But they might say these are congruent triangles, these are congruent segments, instead of the word equal. Equal is when just 2 numbers are equal. You're going to see this symbol here, it's right here. It's an equal bar with a little squiggle above it. That is the congruent symbol. Congruent segments are 2 segments of equal length. So if I measure one segment and it's 5 inches and I measure another one and it's 5 inches, that would be considered congruent segments. Midpoint. We know what a point is. We should know what middle means. A midpoint is a point in the middle of a segment. So I'll just quickly draw a picture here. X, Y. If someone said that this point here is the midpoint, if I say it's the midpoint, then that obviously means the side on the left and the side on the right are equal. If this entire thing was 10 inches, now it's 5 inches and 5 inches. Now, if you say that this is the midpoint, there's actually a symbol that would help indicate that things are equal. And I'm doing this in a red pen here. Sometimes you might see this, just a tick mark like this in red. And if I see another tick mark, these means these 2 parts are congruent. So if this is 5 inches here, and I see this tick mark and this tick mark, then this must be 5 inches over here. It could be double tick marks, it could be triple tick marks, but the double tick marks are equal with the double tick marks. The triple tick marks are equal with the triple tick marks. Okay? All right, let's do a few problems here as we move down the worksheet. First of all, it says find AB. Well, A to B, how many spaces is it? Not how many tick marks, it's 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5. So AB is actually 5 units. Okay, again, don't count tick marks, because if you count tick marks, you're actually going to count bigger than 5. You'll actually count 6. If I count tick marks, 1 tick mark, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't want to count that. Space. 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 inches. Second part. Find point C different from A such that AB and AC are congruent. So where on this number line would I plot point C? Is it positive 2? Is it negative 5? Well, I want the length of AB, which is 5, to be the same length as AC. Now, the most common error, and it's just going to be kind of a trick question here. Some people are going to go, oh, well, if that yellow is 5 spaces, I'll just count out 5 spaces here in pink. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you would think, okay, this must be the answer for letter C, saying C is at positive 3. Unfortunately, this is sort of a trick question here. This is incorrect, because it doesn't say AB yellow is congruent to BC. That's not what the thing asked for. So don't put this point C here, because that's actually B to C, which is also 5. I want to put C somewhere on the other side of A. So I'm going to go 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. If I add 5 to -7, -8, -9, -10, -11, -12, this is where point C would be. And this AC here would be 5, AB is 5, and that's why they would be congruent. So just a little trick question here. Don't just assume it's over here. So point C is actually -12. Number 2. Now we're going to use a little bit of algebra. It says E to G is 100 centimeters, 100 inches. We just know it's hundreds units. Find the value of X, then find EF and FG. So basically we're saying this entire E to G there in yellow is 100. And this is going to involve segment addition. We're going to say EF plus FG is equal to EG. So we're going to basically say EF plus FG, the space on the left plus the space on the right, is equal to all the way across EG. Well, EF is 4x minus 20. FG is plus the 2x plus 30, because I'm going to add those two yellow components, and it will equal EG, which they told us right from the get-go is 100. This is an equation. You're going to need an equation to help solve for X. And this will be the equation. Left portion plus the right portion is all the way across 100. Okay, you can't solve for X unless you have an equal sign. Something is equal to something else. After this should just be basic algebra. 4 plus 2 is 6x. -20 plus that is positive 10. Of course, we're going to want to minus the 10 over, that's 90, and then divide by 6, and it should be 15. X should be 15. They also want us to figure out what EF is, which is 4x minus 20. I'm going to put the 15 in here in just a second. And they also want us to figure out what FG is, which is 2x plus 30. And again, I just figured out what X is, so I would plug that in there. So for this top one, 4 times 15 minus 20, 4 times 15 is 60, this minus 20 is 40. If I put 15 on this bottom one, 2 times 15 plus 30, that's 30 plus 30, that's 60. 40 plus 60 is the original 100. So everything works out. Okay. Finally, this is actually a word problem. It doesn't look like much of a word problem. It's just one little sentence here. It says, number 3. Z is the midpoint of xy. Xy is 27. Find xz. Now what you're going to notice in geometry, they're just going to throw letters at you. A, B, B, C, Q, Y, and so forth. If they don't give you a picture, like number 2, they did give you a little picture here. If they don't give you a picture like number 3, draw yourself a picture. So it says Z is the midpoint of xy. So why don't I draw x to y? And they say Z is in the middle. It's the midpoint. So I'm going to put a little Z there. Okay. Then I'm going to read on. X to y is 27. So x to y here to here is 27 inches, 27 centimeters. And what does the question ask? Figure out how far it is x to z. So how far would it be here? Now without the picture, some people might take the 27 and double it. Well, if you can tell that this is only half because this is the midpoint. Tick here, tick here. So basically, xz is 27 divided by 2, which is 13.5. But as you can tell, it is a lot easier to solve once you have a picture, once you see where the x, the y, the z is, and the numbers. It's easy to solve.